So the easiest sign that somebody needs hormones is honestly their age. You know, it's around that age 40 that all that evil starts to seep in. But there is a kind of a clear transition for women right around that perimenopause time frame. So plus or minus a few years there. That's also around the same time that men start to experience their hormones, you know, more of a steady decline instead of like an on off situation. This is usually from them eating more, moving less, you know, putting on some more weight, sleeping a little bit worse, and just kind of the lifestyle meandering down the wrong path. And lower hormones are just kind of a part of that as well. So the age is a big clue. Also, you know, just general energy. I mean, people are more like a, you know, a frog in a boiling or a warming pot of water, right, up to the boiling point. And so you just don't even realize, like, oh shit, like I used to wake up in the morning ready to go, like ready to attack the day, you know, and I can't even remember the last time I felt something like that. Just general vitality for life, libido. Decrease in that is a pretty clear sign. You know, a healthy person is usually having some sexual activity. You know, but there's tons of other emotional liability or lability, like swinging emotions, right? You know, this huge drastic swing of somebody that maybe you know you don't associate with, but it is you. Probably time to get it checked out, right? There's ways to test for this. We do blood tests for this. Again, age is also a pretty darn good indicator. You take a look at these hormones, but honestly, they're you know you go based on these symptoms of this as well. But there's generally confirmation in the labs that you know we're deficient in some of our sex hormones. Thyroid hormones also play a huge part in that as well, and something also important to get checked out. If the symptoms of low energy and difficulty putting on muscle, um, some of the emotional swings, or just general even concern for where you're at in this process, yeah, getting your hormones checked, seeing if there is some obvious deficiencies that a little bit of correction is probably going to help you with. Just long term in general, hormone replacement therapy should be something every woman has a strong opinion on or has thought that out quite a bit. Just all the evidence that we know about how protective it can be for so many different organ systems. So I think it's easier for women to have kind of a fairly risk-free trial, you know, of seeing if they feel better with hormone replacement therapy, if that's driving some symptoms. For men, it's a little bit different because if you give them testosterone at the levels that they need it, then their testicles shut off, right? Your brain stops sending the signal to your testicles to make more testosterone because it says, hey, I got enough, maybe even too much sometimes. And so, say it's not for you, you're on testosterone replacement therapy for 6 months, you come off of it, um, pretty soon your testosterone levels drop to like zero, right? And you feel that, and it feels like crap. And then your testosterone's pretty low for a while after that. I mean, generally, if you're not on it too long, they will recover, right? Um, but the idea of long-term commitment to this type of stuff is something that's probably at the forefront of a lot of people's minds or a lot of men's minds when they talk about starting on testosterone replacement therapy. So we also do a prescription medicine called clomiphene or enclomiphene. What that does is basically mimics the signal from your brain to for your testicles to produce more testosterone. So you make some of your own, you make higher levels of your own testosterone. And I mean, that's the holy grail, the medicine that makes your own testicles work, of course. It's a fertility drug. Women take it as well for fertility. I don't know what the long-term safety profile is on that. So sometimes we'll use it in bouts of like 6 or 8 months. But you can get men to naturally increase their own testosterone levels to like 850, 800, have high, like the upper limit of normal of free testosterone, you know, that were pretty low before. I guess I would think of that as a a pretty decent option for somebody to see if they do feel better with higher testosterone levels in general, without really having to pay that penalty of coming off testosterone replacement therapy and having low testosterone. This is another good question, is now women that are over 60, is HRT still for me? A lot of women that are 60, or 10 years past menopause are still having symptoms, or they would still benefit long-term in their bone health from estrogen. It's becoming more and more common now for women in their 60s and even in their 70s to be on hormone replacement therapy, and even with the addition of low doses of testosterone, the ability to eat a little bit more protein, to do a little bit more strength training, really helps the bone health. And I think it helps the mental health in general, right? There's a bit more energy there too. So that's an interesting avenue that is a lot more prevalent now, and something that we do hear sometimes too.